Hey, I hope you're well. It is 2:45 p.m. It's still raining and it's still a lovely day. I have received 3 confirmations in 3 hours regarding a series of dreams and thoughts I've been having and thinking about for a few years. And most of you know I was doing some research with I don't really want to call it research. I was gathering information from other people regarding their dreams and putting a map together of the worlds they go to when they dream, and then adding mine to it. And let me tell you, what I'm about to share with you in this video is going to shake your sense of reality. Those of you who know, you know, this is just going to seem like me being bougie or extra or some shit to you. Those of you who are on the same level as me in a way, we're just kind of figuring this out, but we're not really certain. We're kind of like the juniors in high school. They're still seniors. And then there's the sophomores and the freshmen. And then the next classes that come in. So, you know how I keep having these dreams about this space station that has a holodeck on it. And there's like a shopping center, a mall, and that mall kind of oddly looks like the X-Men animated series mall in the first episode where Jubilee gets attacked by that Sentinel. That's what that mall looks like. And in one of those malls is God's Earth. And you go and, like, it's a store, and other people have mentioned this place, which I found very odd. So, anyway, I received 3 confirmations. One of CERN and the crack in the magnetosphere, the other being the solar storms, and the sun being a portal. And then a scattered group of other things, mostly with something called the Federation of Light and like the galactic something or other. I don't know what they are. I have no opinion of them. Whatever. I'm just going to get to the point. So I'm asking you, those of you that know what's going on, kind of just stay out of this. Give a confirmation if you can, but no need. Those of you who have no idea and you don't even know why you clicked this video, I would really suggest you don't listen to this. And those of you who are curious and kind of know but don't know, if you also have confirmations, please share them. Help other people figure this out. But I'm going to describe to you a world, and I'm asking you to sit there and feel what I'm describing to you. Okay. So, you're a human being. You're a bipedal creature. You have skin. You breathe. You drink. You eat. You poop. You sleep. You have DNA. You don't really know what it's about. There are things about time, gravity, forces of nature, elements, minerals, uh, history that can go 6,000 to 600 million billion years in the past, or just an instant because time doesn't exist. You really don't know. Then there's all this talk about secret societies and the governments and cities and just, regular civilization and pets and jobs and clothes, grocery stores, medical needs, an entire planet, an entire life, a, a functioning system, a very repetitive functioning system. Now that's most of the, kind of the muggle, the lemming, the sheeple, the innocent, naive civilian life. But that's what they know. It's just the basics. And there's a lot of reasons for that, obviously. Now, remember, you're on a planet. The planet has a satellite. The planet has a history that no one in your species will ever be able to tell you about because they simply weren't in existence when the planet was. You know? Earth whatever Earth is, has been around longer than humans have. Let's see. So we have the image of Earth and the moon and the sun. And then there's religion and different spiritual beliefs. And then from there you can go into electromagnetic waves, radio waves, nuclear things and space weather, superpowers, and then you can get into science fiction things. Now, let's say they're all real. How would that look, right? I mean, with cognitive dissonance, you'd probably make up a world that's a dream world where things are just normal there. Cell phones, are the size of a ring on your finger. There's med beds, there's teleportation devices. People can walk through walls. Time and space and time travel are, nothing. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump that way. Maybe two to the left. Then, of course, there would be aliens. And then there would be aliens doing alien things. But to people that know, I mean, common sense would tell you, of course, there would be genetic modifications. Those aliens have been around for God knows how many millennia. Who knows what planets exist? Who knows what fire is like on their planet? And then there's a boundary there, isn't there? It's like a oppressive cognitive dissonance, disharmony that distorts your ability to perceive the big picture. You're a little confused, right? Okay, that's kind of expected unless you know what's going on. Now, your reality, wherever you are, when you look up, you trust and you know innately, somehow, that your feet are on the ground, you're on the surface of a planet, the shape is in question, and above you is infinite space, which just above in the atmosphere looks slightly blue. And you're told it's due to the refraction of light or certain whatever. But what if you were in the moon? In a bunker on the moon, or in a bunker in a mountain on the earth, in a room covered in mirrors and light, which displayed a hologram that looked like where you are right now. Or what if you're on a planet, but you're somewhere on a planet with a dome above you that's displaying the sky? What you see is the sky. What's above and behind the sky is a, what is that thing called? A hatch, a gate, something that splits open. Think about how many times in the Bible it said, and in other holy books, it said that the sky cracked open and water fell out. How did God flood the earth? Now think about the aliens again, the interdimensionals, the entities, all of them with their own races, their own species, their own mothers, their own fathers, their own children, their cousins, their aunts. What part of your mind creates a cognitive dissonance that says all those things cannot be real? Because when you look up, you see a blue sky, therefore your reality is safe. I'm saying, what if that blue sky is a projection of technology far more advanced than you're capable of comprehending? And you think you're on a planet, but you're actually somewhere designed for you to perceive yourself as being on a planet. Your first question should be why, right? Among many others. Well, if you put the fear aside, if you put victimization aside, if you put evil aside, what would the common sense, logical, intelligent reason be to have an entire planet or perceived planet with different levels of awakened beings, with different forms of DNA, all contributing to making things better, while others are so or were so opposed to it? There's a lot of questions, aren't there? Ignore them and trust. I'm leading you towards something. Just trust yourself. Now, if you were in a situation where you were in a holographic reality, so to speak, on a real surface, you're real, you are real, you are in existence, you exist. You know, the fire burns, water can drown you, you need food, you need sleep, you are real. But what your eyes are showing you is not fully real. It's almost as if there's something there behind what you're looking at, isn't there? And it's almost as if you subconsciously already know this, don't you? Now, those of you that don't, it's okay. You're not supposed to. Those of you that do, cool, you know? And to myself, I'm still What I'm doing is ignoring the cognitive dissonance that's programmed in the human species. I'm keeping my mind open to it. And I'm trusting that God is in charge of everything. And that God has a physical form. And that physical form exists. It walks. It talks. It does miraculous things regularly. And you are its children, his children, their children. Now, I'm starting to see my role in all of this a lot more. Because I tell you this with full clarity, if aliens popped up in front of me right now, there would be absolutely no, I don't want to say fear because I'd probably be startled. But with this cognitive dissonance in awareness, being aware of it, and trusting that God is in charge, and that there is a possibility that what you're perceiving is designed for you to be perceived in this way. It's as if okay, here's an example I'm going to give you in the real world, in physical, tangible existence that exists right now. And you can verify this. There are communities for people with Alzheimer's that have shops and stores and everything else that is designed specifically for people with Alzheimer's to give them peace of mind, a sense of sameness. Now, back to the aliens. I'm going to keep doing this because this is also affecting your DNA and your mental and energetic centers. I'm bouncing back and forth, bringing awareness through you to these points, okay? These aliens, these beings who have existed longer than you've been alive, would probably use something like that to help. How do I put this gingerly? Let's say that the physical incarnations, the royal family, the Holy Family, what religion has taught you is the Holy Family. If they were to return with as kind and benevolent and enlightened and intelligent as they are, do you really think they would just plop down and say, hey peeps? Or do you think they would condition society? Oh, I'm teetering on this, I know. Or do you think they would condition society gently for decades and eons through limitation, through gentle nudging, through playing the villain, through movies and TV shows and books and messengers? Don't you think they would have more than enough adequate technology to advance and resolve all issues and bring everything to harmony instantly? Don't you think that the entire planet can experience a rebirth, a new Eden, instantly? And all that's required is to gauge the measure of consciousness of the human race, to see how they would respond to different skin tone, to different genders, to gender bending, to betrayal, to heartbreak, to abandonment, to denial, to lies, to hidden truths, to secret societies. If you were them, do you think the human race is ready? Or do you think only certain people are ready? And those certain people are used to help other certain people wake up. And then those people are used to wake other people up. And then, of course, there is the opposing force. Let's create a distraction. Are they focused enough to fall for the distraction? Or the actual prize, the actual goal, to reunite with family, to restore? Or are you going to go argue about politics? It's time that we all collectively and individually stop fussing and whining about petty things, because we're better than that. It's time to stop betraying and being the versions of ourselves that we know are not worthy of wearing a crown. We pretend to be those versions because we're afraid of who we can be. But once we are those versions, an entire new life opens up. People have been waiting for Earth 2.0 or the new Earth or the new order of some kind. What you don't realize is you're already there. You just can't get access to it if you're going to be a frickin' troll or a Neanderthal or a whiny little brat. So there's these little communities, right? Let's measure this. Let's fix that. Let's fix this. What did the ancients call it? Hell. Hel. Now, if you take cognitive dissonance away, what does this tell you? That you're in the underworld, you're in hell, above you is a dome, it cracks open, water can come down or you can go up. Above you is an ocean, above that ocean is an actual fucking planet that is massive. It is in chunks, it is in pieces, it is all connected through an entire electromagnetic sphere. It moves through space, it moves through time, it is moving all the time. It is known as Gaia Tiamat, it is known as Sophia. You're inhabiting just a little pixel of it known as Earth, because it is your heart that you have to open and your mind to reconnect with the trust that all is good, because your soul has been acting like a child running from the light. Because you went somewhere really dark. You weren't supposed to, but you did. And in a way, you were supposed to. So good job. But now it's time to realize you are already home. And you're safe. This reality, this world you're in, all these pointless arguments and wars and fighting and drama and theories and conspiracies and fear tactics and rumors and gossip, it's pointless destruction. God will not come to you while you are in a state of being that would cause you to feel shame at the sight of someone at a higher vibration than you. Let me put that to you in a way that some of you need to understand. Let's say you had an ex-wife or an ex-husband, and you guys were, rock stars, and you were wearing leather, and you had spikes, and your hair was like 80s crazy, mohawks and all that, and pink and blue and purple, and you guys were the talk of the town. And now, you haven't seen each other in like 80 years, and you're rolling around on your on your moped or whatever, and she's walking on a walker, and you guys have like cat hair everywhere. I don't know, squeaky devices and sounds and tennis balls on your shoes. And you'd feel a little embarrassed to see them again, wouldn't you? Well, they'd be embarrassed to see you too, because they haven't been here for a very long time. And I'm sure you have a lot of questions for them. Questions that you won't hear the answers to if you're busy being ashamed of what you've become. So do the work. And it's really simple. You let yourself be held by the knowing that all the crap you made up for yourself is just crap to avoid admitting that you are a child of God and that you should act like it. Because you already know how. So remember, the cognitive dissonance, the dream world, the reality that you think exists that people are hiding from you, they are. But it's because you're busy trying to see if they're lying to you or not, instead of seeing why it exists. And then once you figure that out and accept that, then you can ask more questions. But as long as you're busy trying to figure out if it's there or not and who's hiding it from you, then you have the maturity of a 9-year-old wondering what their older brother is doing. Time to grow up. Yes, it's all real. Can you handle it face to face?